The Great Escape Artist, Whiskers, and the Moving Van. The setup. Whiskers was a 5-year-old tuxedo cat whose perfectionist nature manifested in extreme anxiety about change. He preferred every cushion, rug, and blanket to be in its assigned spot. His human, Eleanor, a kind woman in her 70s, was moving from her expansive, quiet country cottage, the only home Whiskers had ever known, to a small third-floor apartment in the bustling city, closer to her daughter. The cottage was a tapestry of Whiskers' history. As the moving chaos began, Whiskers' world crumbled into a dizzying array of cardboard, bubble wrap, and strange large men. Key plot points expanded. The mistake. Boxes piled high obscured the front hall. Eleanor, trying to comfort Whiskers, put him in the master bedroom, which had one window that was slightly raised for air. A burly mover carrying a wardrobe nudged the window lock, opening it just enough. Whiskers saw his opportunity. Overwhelmed by the scent of industrial tape and stale coffee, he scrambled through the narrow opening and dropped silently onto the overgrown trellis below. He looked back at the house, his home, being devoured by strangers, and decided, "This cannot be my fate." He ran, not from fear, but from a profound need to find the familiar. The journey. Whiskers, a creature of habit, now faced a hostile, chaotic world. He survived his first night sheltering in a culvert, shaken by the sound of passing highway traffic. Over the next week, his journey became a grueling migration. He relied on instinct, navigating by faint shadows and smells. He traversed fields, narrowly avoided a hungry owl, and most critically, he began to follow a powerful, almost subliminal scent, Eleanor's lavender perfume. It clung to the old sofa cushions, the linen blankets, and the armchair that the moving van had transported earlier. Whiskers tracked this fading, mobile scent trail like a 4-legged bloodhound, slowly but surely heading toward the terrifying urban sprawl. The challenge. He arrived at the city limits, a terrifying sensory overload of sirens, exhaust, and strange metallic odors. He was thin, scraped, and deeply weary. Eleanor, meanwhile, had arrived at her new apartment, a small, bright space, but she was inconsolable. She was postponing unpacking, determined to drive back to the cottage the next day. Whiskers' scent trail ended at a massive, indistinguishable apartment complex. He wandered the concrete maze, heartbroken. He needed a sign. He then focused on the vertical. Using the unique, musky scent of Eleanor's antique wooden dresser, which he'd rubbed against for years, he found the correct wall of the building. The reunion. Exhausted, Whiskers climbed onto a small, low balcony wall. Looking up, he saw the faint light of a third-story window. He needed to call her. With every ounce of his remaining strength, he let out his signature conversational cry, a pathetic, high-pitched chirp meow he only ever used when begging Eleanor for a specific kind of wet food. Eleanor, standing by the window, pausing before packing her last suitcase, froze. It was unmistakable. She flung the window open and looked down. She saw him, the weary tuxedo, his eyes glazed with relief. The camera lingers on the slow descent of the elevator. The final scene is Eleanor scooping him up, weeping into his fur, and Whiskers finally relaxing into her familiar scent. Home, he realized, wasn't the house. It was the warmth of her arms.